the brand new McLaren GT. I'm obsessed. Come in here, you have to check this vehicle out. It delivers luxury, enough to make you raise your pinky, and it also delivers performance. Hello, this is McLaren after all. This car was derived from the track. You can even take it out on the track, but you may even develop, I don't know, a British accent because it's so refined. I love this car. I'm obsessed with it. So if you hear me say that about 15 more times throughout this tour, don't get mad at me. Maybe make it a drinking game if you're old enough to do so. You know what I'm saying? All right, friends. This car is derived from the 720S, which packs a serious punch. If you're a fan of McLaren, you know that their foundation is in racing. So of course, this car would have all of those cues built into the design. But just starting in the front, let's talk about the color. This is a very spectacular color. It's actually an upgrade. It's called Cirrus Gray, Cirrus like the clouds. It's got a nice sheen to it. It's gonna cost you a little bit more. We have LED lights that come standard. They do have the sensors built in for the rain, or if the light changes, they will automatically turn on. It has a little bit more of a lift in the front, whereas some of the other cars, depending on your track and your terrain, it will lift automatically up for you. This is raised a bit from the get-go, but coming around, look at this black pack. I am loving the color contrast, so cool. Oh, look at the glass top. Obsessed. We're gonna get to the doors in a second. Come with me, you have to check out the back. This is so different than other McLaren options. Also the bodywork, really quickly, before we get to the back, the bodywork, everything is functional. This isn't like other cars out there that looks like it's an air vent or a diffuser, but it's actually not functioning. Everything in this car was built to be functional and help with either downforce, air ventilation. It's all made to assist you in performance out on the track. We got the wheels, look at the blacked out rims. Obsessed. We got 21 inch on the back, 20 inch in the front. It looks sick. I am obsessed with this car. But here's a really, really big difference than before. Okay, this is very unique and new for McLaren. So here's the deal. You look at this glass paneling in the back. It's see-through, it's beautiful. Normally, this is where your engine would sit. This is a mid-engine design, and normally you would see the engine right below the glass. Wait, where's the twin turbocharged V8 engine? Oh, it's there. But this is where this McLaren is a bit different from the other models in their lineup. If you just hit the button on your fob, it will pop up and surprise! Check out all this trunk space. Get in here. I mean, I could literally probably lay down inside. Maybe that's not what they're trying to sell as this key feature. If you're an avid golfer, you could certainly fit golf clubs. You could fit some luggage, not the way I pack, but there's also more space in the front because the engine is right under all of this. So normally you'd be like, pop the hood. Well, it's a little difficult in this case. You wouldn't really be popping the hood here, but you do have your water components. This is where you would put oil, coolant, that sort of thing. It's all underneath here, which is really a little bit concerning for me because what if, here's the thing, what if you park it somewhere and your luggage is on top? Are people gonna be like, oh, nice golf clubs or nice luggage, nice laptop? But this is nicely tinted, so you don't have that issue. You have this little push button here. McLaren makes it nice and easy breezy. You can just push a button, lower it back down, but ton of room back here. There's also room in the front, which we'll get to that in a second. There's also room in the front. This car is serving up a lot of luxury in that you could bring all of your luggage with you. There is so much space. Comparable to the DB11, which is in its category, the DB11 has like 9 cubic inches of storage space. This is 20 cubic inches of storage space. That's a huge difference. It's actually a game changer because not a lot of supercars offer that. And look, all this extra space. Where I was talking in the back, the glass paneling had me a little nervous because I like to travel with some things that might be of value. So if you're worried about that, just stick it in the front compartment. All this extra space. Super handy to have, especially in your sports car. You can show up and bring all your stuff with you, whereas before you kind of had to pick and choose. very nice. But in the back, you have your dual exhaust. Down here, you can see it, get in close. Obviously, it's a sport package. You have diffuser. This blows my mind a little bit. I took a first glance, and maybe in the editing bay, you're gonna blur it out. But if you don't blur it out, you can see this in person. This is actually a digital license. That's crazy. I thought it was a paper license at first. Very cool option. Also, the rear wing is fixed, so that's a bit different from the 720S comparably, which would be something that would raise and lower depending on what kind of track performance you're looking to get. Come around to one of my favorite parts. This is so cool. I feel like I'm in some music video. If this doesn't just look impressive to begin with, your mind is about to be blown, because you have this sneaky button here. It blends in, but if you push it, a little party trick for you, hold it down and voila, the window's lower. So maybe you're like, oh, it's a hot day, it's sunny SoCal or wherever you live, you want to air it out before you get in, you can do that. All right, so once you've lowered the window, go ahead and press this again and pull up, and bam, dehedral doors, AKA butterfly doors. You could have both up and look really fly at your coffee and cars events, or just have one like me and get in. I'm obsessed, and I'm so glad that they have this on the Grand Touring option. It's not really standard with GT models. Definitely with sports cars or supercar models, you're gonna see the butterfly dehedral doors, but on the Grand Touring car, that's pretty rare, and I'm so glad that McLaren chose to include it. In terms of the interior, get in here tight. I want to like drive you around the block. I'm so excited to take this out. It has a sound system like you wouldn't believe. You have, oh, the colors. It's so nice. Everything is black leather. There's also cashmere options and some other options if maybe you're not into the leather for the interior design, but you have aluminum, you have chrome detailing. So this car is sick, but really, I'm just dying to take it out on the road, so let's waste no time and take it for a drive. All right, bye! Don't wait up! Yee! All right, so in between my obscene outbursts and giggles and laughs, I'm gonna try and tell you about how much performance this car has. Okay, it's a McLaren GT, Grand Touring. What does that mean? Grand Touring is all about performance over long distance. So you want something that spoils you a little bit on the inside, so it's not that rough ride of a normal supercar. And some people are saying, well, McLaren, this is a GT, it's not a true supercar. Obviously, you haven't driven it if you think that. This thing hauls serious ass. I've been taking it on this strip. Let me just show you. Ready to hear a little whistle? Twin turbo. Woo! The amount of get up and go this car has is ridiculous. 0 to 60, 2.8 seconds. I've heard some people say 3.1 seconds. Obviously, they weren't driving properly. There's different driving options. You have comfort level. You also have sport mode. You also have track mode. Right now, if you look down, I'm actually driving in sport and track. In terms of performance and handling, the handling is sport, the performance is track. So I am getting those top numbers. Obviously the 0 to 60 time is impressive, but the 0 to 100 is actually, I think, even more impressive. It's 6 seconds. This is a twin turbocharged V8 engine. It packs a serious punch. When I'm saying serious punch, we have 612 horsepower. The torque is obscene as well, and you feel it. I mean, this thing has so much get up and go, but what's also impressive, it has really firm brakes. So as much as I'm pushing it, it's also braking very impressively. You know that this car was built for a track, It's got that performance-minded braking. You got the ceramic brakes. One part of me feels like I'm a superhero in this car, and then the other part of me feels like I'm a villain, like I need to run from some people. It's really kind of a fun dynamic. It's got that dual personality, a lot of fun to drive, and the system's in place. Looking around, this has way more luxuries and niceties than any other McLaren that I've been in. I've driven the P1, I've driven the 720S. This definitely holds up in terms of performance, but in terms of luxury, this blows them out of the water because obviously those were built for the track solely. This car specifically, I mean, check out the sunroof. It's got an electrochromatic system. Basically, you can adjust the fade from dark if you don't want any light coming in to this little button system that's super easy to use. It's a digital system and you can open it up, have the sun shining in if you prefer. And the infotainment system is pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty comparable to some of the others. You're going to be competing with the DB11 in the Bentley. So obviously Bentley's going to come with something like back massagers. Sorry, McLaren doesn't have that, but I guess if you move the lumbar support up and down, you can make your own. I don't know. And it also has the portrait infotainment system. It's set upright, which I found was a really unique feature, but I'm seeing more and more cars actually offer that. Okay, bye. Talk to you never. Woo! All right, so in terms of this engine, it's pretty much the exact same engine that you're gonna get in the 720. It's detuned a little bit. It's a 4-liter twin turbo V8 engine. It's not as much horsepower, but obviously you got the luxury in mind, and it's not disappointing. This, just because it's slightly different than the 720 doesn't mean that you're missing out on anything. It's just a few less horsepower, but in terms of performance, it's absolutely the same in my eyes as the 720. I've had the opportunity to drive both. I don't feel that you're missing out on anything. It's equally performance savvy and packs a serious punch. Pushes you back in your seat, that's for sure. Okay, on the infotainment system, it's kind of cute. Dare I say this, McLaren's probably gonna kill me, and some of you in the comments are probably gonna kill me, but if you actually look at the infotainment system and look at the climate control, I hit this button, check out the little guy. He's got a helmet on. I find that attention to detail so charming and adorable. So in, say the 720, you might have your full racing helmet, or maybe if you took this baby out on the track, you would have the full racing helmet as well. But this is so refined and luxurious. I feel like I should talk in an accent and put my pinky up, and I feel like I shouldn't say that this has a top speed of 203 miles per hour. I feel like I need a top hat and say that its top speed is 326 kilometers per hour or something. Like, it sounds more fancy that way when you speak in kilometers, I guess. This is such a fun car. Definitely giving the DB11 a run for its money. Definitely giving the Bentley a little competition in the luxury game. I feel like this driver is what every McLaren owner hopes to have in a driver. This is something you could easily drive daily. I'm not saying you'd want to, but you could easily do it. Or you could take it out on the track, no problem. This is the Goldilocks just right porridge. It has a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you're happy at the end of the day. So I feel like McLaren lovers would love to drive this vehicle. Actually, anybody. You don't even have to be a McLaren lover, but if you love the performance heritage of McLaren and you like the luxuries of, say, a Bentley, you will love this car like I do. We also have to talk about the price point for a second. Obviously, a car of this caliber does not come cheap, but we call it the spine-tingling factor. You have serious performance, but you also have the upgrades, the niceties, the luxuries. You have the MSO paint, it's an upgrade. You have black and silver calipers. You have the black pack, which I'm obsessed with. You have so many different options. You got the sports exhaust. All of this is gonna run you around $255,000. This is basically what I'm putting as my #1 item on my Christmas list. Let's pool all our money together and take this puppy home. $255,000, but well worth it for the new McLaren GT. I'm obsessed. I'm gonna keep saying it, I told you. I am obsessed with this car. I'm gonna say it 100 more times. The McLaren GT kicks ass. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. Little do they know, I'm not giving the key back. Sucks for them. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Wait, what?